Memphis is an amazing city for food. It features one of the most well-known barbecue styles in the United States, along with basically any other culinary dish you could hope to find at one of its many restaurants. Plus, the city is steeped in history with places that were frequented by everyone from Elvis to BB King. While this is by no means a complete list of places to eat in the city, it's some of my favorite places I went to during my week in Memphis. Let me know what I left off in the comments and let's jump into it. First up, we have Charlie Virgo's Rendezvous. Rendezvous is probably the most famous spot for barbecue in the city. With over 70 years of tradition, this spot has been located in a basement in the alley across from the famous Peabody Hotel that entire time. The restaurant has expanded to take over more of the area since its early days, but you'll still have to walk down into the basement to get your seat. The food here is exceptional, with the ribs being the most popular dish and the ultimate highlight of the meal. What makes this spot so great is the experience. The place has a historic charm, and the line of people waiting for a table on any given day shows how loved the restaurant is. I asked many people what their favorite barbecue was in the city as I traveled around, and this was one of the most recommended spots. Next up, we have the BBQ Shop. The BBQ Shop is located outside of the downtown Memphis area, but it's well worth driving to. They're supposedly the creators of the barbecue spaghetti, which I had never even heard of before I went to Memphis, but which was better than I expected it to be. They have also been voted the best ribs in America by the Food Network, and you can get a dish there that lets you try a little bit of everything. Honestly, you don't want to leave Memphis without eating a bunch of barbecue, and you should definitely try the barbecue spaghetti while you're there as well. My last barbecue recommendation on this list is Central Barbecue. It's been in Memphis for over 20 years with many locations around the city now. They famously say that smoke is their sauce, and the food here is really smoked to perfection. I loved the dry rub seasoning so much that I took it home for my own barbecue. When I was there, I got the pulled pork sandwich because it was voted one of the best barbecue sandwiches in the city, and I was not let down. Be sure to get the mac and cheese to go with it. It even has some of the dry rub spice on top of it, which is an awesome addition to the mac and cheese. Next up, we have Guss's world famous fried chicken. Like many of the barbecue spots we just talked about, Guss's world famous fried chicken is often voted one of the best fried chicken spots in the United States. It's based in Memphis, but it's now expanded to over 30 locations in 14 states. The chicken here is fried perfectly and exploding with flavor. The location feels like one of those special places you just stumbled on, with picnic-style tablecloths and lots of neon lights. It's a great introduction to Memphis non-barbecue dishes and something you can't leave the city without trying. Next up, we have Arcade Restaurant. Arcade is the oldest cafe in Memphis and a must-stop for breakfast or lunch. The restaurant's been here for over 100 years, and its claim to fame is that it was frequented by Elvis, who had his own booth that you can still sit in today. This history alone is worth the visit, but the food is fun too, with the Elvis sandwich being one of the top sellers. The sandwich has peanut butter and banana on it, and you can add bacon, which is a great addition with a little bit of a savory flavor added to the sweet. It's a fun restaurant and has a lot of historic charm. Next up, we have the Liquor Store. The Liquor Store is a newer, trendier restaurant in the city that's a lot of fun to visit. They transformed an old liquor store about 15 minutes outside of downtown Memphis into this hip dining spot that's especially popular for brunch. The interior looks like something you would see on Instagram, and the food is fresh, healthy, and excellent. After indulging in barbecue for a few days, I was happy to find the great sweet potato hash they have here. I did have the beignets as well, which were pretty epic. Be prepared to wait, but it's a fun place to eat in Memphis. The last 4 recommendations on this list focus more on drinks and sweets. First up, we have Gibson Donuts, which is a Memphis institution that people go out of their way to visit while in the city. They have been there since 1967, and the donuts are truly to die for. If you follow my channel, then you know how much I love donuts, and these are easily some of the best donuts I've ever had. The glaze to breading consistency was perfect, and there was a wide variety to choose from. I even brought some back on the airplane when I left Memphis, and I often wish there was one near me still. Next up, we have Jerry's Snow Cones. Jerry's Snow Cones is a good drive from downtown Memphis, but it's well loved and a famous spot in the city. They've been making snow cones here since the 1960s, and the location was even spotted in the movie Great Balls of Fire, which made it even more of a local sensation. Be sure to get the Snow Cone Supreme here, which features one of the 50 or so flavors they have with a good amount of vanilla ice cream. It's a fantastic afternoon treat on a hot summer day in Memphis. Next up, we have A. Schwab. A. Schwab is situated on Beale Street and it opened in the late 1800s, making it one of the only original businesses still on the street. The store has a lot of different souvenirs you can purchase, but the highlight is the old-fashioned soda machine in the cafe attached to the store. They make their sodas with house-made syrup, and it's a real treat to have something like this while walking Beale Street. I hear the milkshakes are pretty good here as well. Lastly, we have Old Dominion Distillery. Old Dominion has over 150 years of history in the city, even though there were some pauses due to Prohibition. You can take a tour of the distillery and learn about the production, plus they have a tasting of some of their fine spirits. The highlight here is the Memphis toddy, which was reverse engineered from a bottle they found in an old warehouse and which is a fun spirit to try with a lot of history. If you're looking to learn more about Memphis' connection to whiskey, then be sure to schedule a tour of Old Dominion and try the Memphis toddy while you're there. There you have it, some of my favorite food and drink spots in Memphis. You can see all of my favorite things to do in Memphis in another video. Be sure to let me know what I left off that you love, and we will see you on the next video.